And now, a poem by the real Doug Norris, titled A Beacon of Light. Each soul pays a toll as it battles through worry and fight. Accompanied by treachery, each traveler becomes its own beacon of light. Center the soul's gravity, pulling truth and love into the night. Abolish all the hate and turn each wrong into right. By weathering the storm, we turn the unknown into sight. The grass will soon be greener, and the skies will soon be bright. Don't let the battles burden your beacon, for the purpose is the light. You're a soldier of passion and a giver of love. Let your truth be the wisdom to inspire the dreamers of. Let them see you defeat your demons. Let them feel the thunder in your heart. Don't give them any more reasons to use hate to drive us apart. There's a beacon of light inside of us all, so let us open our hearts and defeat the nightfall. My beacon is burning, my bridges are burned, my soul is deserving of the light that I've earned. Well guys, it's time to officially prove how crazy I am. It's the moment y'all been waiting for. I'm sure that you've seen by now, I'm pulling a wagon and it seems extraneous. In fact, I even had a breakdown trying to pull a wagon with not even half the amount of stuff that I'm ending to bring. I officially have all of my supplies now. I'm going to show you how I'm going to load this baby up, and bear with me because I may not be bringing everything. I've already had to condense down and lose a few things. I'm only bringing a third of the books that I wanted to bring, which is kind of sad. A lot of clothes I had to get rid of to condense down, so I had other stuff that I was planning on bringing, had to share suitcases and stuff like that. So probably going to be like a 600-pound load, maybe, gosh, I don't know, maybe more. Just the water alone is going to be 42 pounds. So did all the research, it looks scary, but with a lot of bungee cords, tarps, hoping to secure everything, tie it down. This is heavy, so I'm not gonna move it again, but this is my food pantry. Got a 3-drawer cart. I've got survivable food, all in bags, canned goods, rice, different kinds of fruit, nutrition bars, oatmeal, stuff like that. So it's all high fiber, high protein, high energy type foods, so I can keep my endurance and keep my strength and energy up for the long 1,400 walk. And then in the top drawer, we have the basic necessities, our kitchen supplies. So I have propane tank and a burner because of the fact that I won't be able to have campfires without getting in trouble because of the fire ordinances and all the wildfires that are going on in Arizona, New Mexico, and even in Oklahoma, Texas now. So pretty much my whole route is still on fire, but we've already delayed too long, and now I've just got to face the fact that I'm going to be walking in fire, and it's going to be fine. I also have got like baby wipes and stuff like that in the top drawer. And this little contraption I just rigged up, and I'll show you how I set that up here. But this is going to be sitting on here, so it makes the organizer a little bit more firm. It's a sheet of plywood, pretty sturdy, and I have it rigged up so this has a ledge right here that catches on here so it won't slide around. And then my water jug, I'm going to go ahead and set that up here right now. My water jug is going to go up there, and typically what this is going to do, so every stop that I do make, I'm just going to fill this bad boy up with ice and then maybe a couple gallons of water. So, you know, the ice will obviously melt and keep me replenished, but that sits in there just like that. So as I'm bumping and moving around, I have all these walls now that I just built that won't allow it to slide, move, and then I'll also obviously take a bungee and we'll secure that down so that it doesn't move. So I think the water is going to be good right there. Now, I want you to see how I'm going to build the rest of it. Trial by fire, as they say. So we're going to see what this looks like. I may have to change a few things around, but this suitcase probably weighs, I guess, about 100 pounds. I did go ahead and still pack about 4 books inside of here. And then this has my basic change of clothes. And because I'm going to be gone doing this for so long, I also had to kind of consider the fact that it's going to be colder temperatures at the end of this journey. So I packed some pairs of pants and some longer sleeves clothes, as well as the short sleeve and the athletic wear for the actual walk. So this bag alone is 100 pounds or so, pretty heavy. And that's going to hopefully go right here and set. And I picked that to go there for the height. It'll keep those drawers on the cart from moving around, coming in and out. And then the next big thing, is this the one with the, okay. So this tote in here has all my first aid, my bathroom, an extra blanket, like I said, for winter, and a coat. So I planned ahead just in case I'm still dealing with cooler nights. And then obviously at the back of it. So that tote will go right there. And I'm trying to, as best as I possibly can, pack it in such a way that the stuff that's on top or easy access is stuff that I'll need in an emergency, in a quick like stop or whatever. So like sleeping bag and tent, obviously on top. So if it does look like it's gonna go rain, I can go quickly pick a spot, get camp set up, and hopefully the wagon's not tall enough. I'll obviously have to take the water down, but I'm gonna plan on pulling that into the tent. That's the idea. We'll see how that goes. It's been a while since I pitched this tent, so I'm not sure what it looks like. So this weekend when I actually go out and do my full test run, we'll get an idea of what that actually looks like. So next, another tote. And in this tote, we have our simple, our basic, there's a little bit of electronics like my battery packs, and then just different accessories to some of the electronic stuff. There's also a pillow in here. It's just like the miscellaneous camping stuff. There's a hammock in here, and just the basic necessities that I need for camping. So that I intend to go right there. And then the next little suitcase will go right here. And in this suitcase is all of my costumes. And of course, so I'll secure all that down with a bungee as well, and then tarp it, and then bungee the tarp. So I actually do need to go back to the store probably and get more bungees, as I don't know if I have enough bungees. The other idea is I could use rope to go ahead and just tie all this down and then bungee the tarp. So we'll see, we'll play with it. All right, and then I've got a toolbox. And in the toolbox, we have just the basic tools we're gonna need. I have a sealer kit, fix the flat and stuff, because I can't afford to lose the wagon, obviously. So those are all, you know, I have a bicycle pump, stuff like that. So if I need to pump up the tires or fix the leak in the tires or whatever, I have the tools to do that. I also have a wrench, so if I need to tighten up nuts and bolts, I'm gonna get one more wrench. Unfortunately, I didn't get a socket set, so, but I plan on putting the toolbox here again, because I need it to be conveniently located. Okay, I've got a chair, and the chair is going to go right next to the suitcase per planned. Can't believe this is actually working out, guys. It's gonna be heavy. It's not gonna be fun to pull, especially the first couple days as I'm getting adjusted to it. But I got my chair there. I've got my tent. And the tent's gonna go right across there. I've got my sleeping bag. And the sleeping bag will go right next here. To pack that in. So we're getting firm. Everything's nice and, you know, where it needs to stay. The This is one of my more exciting gifts I just got myself. I was worried like how I'm gonna squat and not poop in my shoes. So I got myself a porta potty, literally. I can carry this with me. It has legs, up to 300-pound weight limit. And that way I can actually, you know, sit down, scroll through Facebook, you know? So that I'm gonna go ahead and put right on top of the sleeping bag. And then I'm bringing an actual cooler bag for now. And this is gonna have, right now it has just the stuff that, like I've got tuna and my proteins, my meats in here. Tuna, what else did I get? I got sardines, stuff like that. Stay in the cooler for now. We're starting to get, as you can see, it's getting a little bit scary, but that's gonna sit right here. I'm doing that on purpose because I'm gonna have electrolytes in there too, as well as my other bag that I'm about to show you. But again, everything on top for easy access. So if I'm getting exhausted or need to eat real quick, I can just kind of let the tarp down on one side and get access to the stuff that I need. This is going to be my, I don't know, utility bag, I guess. As you guys have seen this already, it's plenty of times. I'll have at least one tripod in here, and I have a solar battery pack so I can be charging as I go, and I have my regular battery pack. I've got electrolytes in here for now. I've got a poncho, stuff like that. So that will also go behind the water cooler on top of the toolbox. So again, easy access. Okay, and let's see. Oh, I'll go ahead and do it with this pair of shoes. What I'm gonna do, I didn't have a way to pack any of the shoes, so what I decided to do was to conveniently take the shoes and run them through the sides like this. Shoes tied to the side, and you got the gist of it. That's the most of it. And then you've already seen how I secure it down. Here's the pump. So the pump will go in there somehow or another. Pump, and then obviously the tarp over it. Guitar over my back. And guys, believe it or not, we're fully equipped. This is my gear. This is how I'm gonna go. And yeah, it's pretty heavy. So walking up hills will be fun. Walking down hills will be scary. But that's the plan, and I'm sticking to it. What's up, guys? So, been doing a lot of thinking. I want to share some thoughts with you guys. Before I start, I'm out on a walk. Just a short walk today. I'm trying to do a bunch of skits and stuff when I get back, but I'm trying to keep the exercise going. But to be honest with you, this is my first walk in the past 4 or 5 days. Since I pulled the wagon and went back out and pulled the wagon again, but been having a lot of negative energy that's been really challenging me. And I mentioned before in a previous episode that I was labeled a martyr and thrown out of rehab. Well, technically removed from rehab and put into the mental health portion. And the whole time that I was in rehab, we discussed with my therapist, counselors, everybody, even other people that had, volunteered to work there, that had gone through the experience before. And they all say mental health and alcoholism or addiction in general go hand in hand. I say that there is a reason why people continue to go to rehab. I mean, think about it. How many people do you know that have been to rehab multiple times? Just think about that for a second, and then consider the whys. Why do people repeat rehab? And this is why I got thrown out. I actually believe that mental health should be the priority. Once you can beat or defeat the chemical dependency part, the rest is pretty easy, as long as you can maintain your mind. I don't know if you guys suffer from delusional thoughts like I do. The voice, the chaos in my head is often so loud that it handicaps me. And in the past, that's why I chosen to have a drink or whatever. It was to, in a way, mute the negative voices in my head to get me that temporary fulfillment, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, once we understand that people who are suffering from addiction and alcoholism, whatever that be, if you don't address the mental health part of it as the top priority, they're gonna keep coming back. Because once we've defeated the chemical dependency, the only thing that's left is what's going on in the mind. We give way too much power to labels, way too much faith in medical treatment. And I think it's a rigged system. You're gonna find out you're an alcoholic, so you're suffering from depression, so let's go get you some medicine to take. Bullshit. Imagine if we actually didn't give so much power to words, and instead we took a second to say, look what society does to people. There are more people struggling than not nowadays, financially. And the whole reason why rehab fails is because once you understand that it's a system of hurry up and make this person right so they can get back to being a productive part of society, that's the issue. Forgive me if you're somebody that actually does care. I'm allowed to say what I'm saying because I have the experience, and in my experience, nobody gave a shit about me. They kept me an extra week in bed because I had Medicaid at the time, and because I was paying that, I was, covered in insurance. They loved me there, except for the fact that I became a martyr. People started knocking on my doors, wanting to talk to me instead of the counselors and therapists, to the point where finally my young therapist, who apparently was an alcoholic at 18, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, you can't be an alcoholic at 18. You haven't even started living yet. You can have a chemical dependency on alcohol and you can have an issue with it, but it's up here. It has nothing to do with alcohol. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if it's working for you, if the Alcoholics Anonymous, all that stuff is working for you, then great, good for you. Proud of you, stick to it. But for the rest of you, instead of continuously going back to rehab looking for answers, like the solutions in a bottle, think about all the shortcuts we take as a society. Seriously, probiotics, for example. You're having issues with your gut. Gut health's a major concern these days, and it should be. But guys, there's food. If you actually change your diet and you take care of yourself and eat right and exercise and all those good things, you won't have gut health issues. Why do we continuously look for shortcuts? That's my dilemma. It's because of this society of consumerism that we think that we can continuously take shortcuts. I've had people call me in the past couple weeks and they want me to give them the answer. I don't have answers for you. I have the answers for myself. I understand my truth, and I'm trying to be a role model and an example, setting the tone so people can do what they need to do to fix their lives. But the bottom line is, quit leaning on these crutches. We gotta stop. That's the system. There's a systemic thing in society of consumerism, and this whole just get over it, or just grind it out, just do it. Bullshit. Focus on your happiness. You do not have to do what everybody has historically told you have to do. This whole grind mentality, it's dumb. If you're not happy at your job, don't go there. Take care of yourself first. You are the priority, because if you aren't happy, kids, whatever, whoever's dependent on you, they're depending on your happiness first. If you're happy and you're able to love, because you truly are happy, you can love, right? But when you're carrying all this negative weight, all this negative energy, you project. You can't even control it. You automatically project on the others. So we have got to figure out how to stop this. I'm not trying to completely abolish the way things are. I do feel like there are people that are so chemically dependent on their substance that we do have to go through detox. We do have to love them in a different way and figure out how to get them off of their dependency. But the majority of you guys need to understand this. Address your mental health. Once you understand what's going on upstairs, I promise you, you'll be motivated to make the changes. It's still hard because we have our routines, right? And that's why I've struggled the last 4 days. I've struggled just to get my ass up out of bed just because the negative energy that's around. I don't want to deal with negative energy. But at the same time, I know that there's a reward for me getting up and pushing through that. And that reward is great. It's worth it. So we got to get there. Quit leaning on your pills. Quit leaning on doctors or somebody to help you. You are the only one that can help you. Guys, besides that rehab stint, I don't go to the doctor. I haven't been to the doctor, I haven't been to the hospital in 20 some odd years. I've never had a doctor in my entire life, even growing up as a child. I don't want to say things to offend people, but if you think about it, it's that state of mind, that consciousness that you're depending on somebody else to help you that is constantly keeping you sick. So it's time for change. It's time to do something different. And I think step one is understanding that the most important thing that you can take care of in your life for everybody, yourself specifically, is to take care of your mental health. When you don't feel like doing something, make your ass do it. You know, if it's on the list, if it's on those goals that you set for yourself, get out of the house, go do something else. Change your routines. Never drink alone. Never drink when you have that bad energy or use your substance or anything. The best thing that you can do is go work it off with exercise, just go for a walk. Just walk. Look at the beautiful country. Look at the skies, the grass, the whatever. Just get out of the house, do something different. That's the challenge that I want to challenge everybody today. Quit leaning on people. I think I'm going to try to rewrite the book of Alcoholics or whatever, the Big Blue Book. It's time. That book was written in 1939. Prohibition ended in 1933. The state of consciousness as a society was, we're approaching the Industrial Revolution. It was work, it was grind. And I want to be clear too, it's like you can reward yourself. You should reward yourself. Is it more excruciating if you are accomplishing all your goals and everything and you don't have a mental health issue? Have a drink, celebrate, rejoice. I mean, shoot, Jesus could turn water into wine. It's okay to celebrate and rejoice and reward yourself. But the biggest thing that you need to remember is if you ain't right here, you cannot do anything as far as substances go, because it only takes that energy and manifests all the negative into you. So be clear-minded, never drink alone, and understand you're only trying to celebrate wins. But make sure you get there. All right? Good talk. Also, remember guys, all this stuff that I'm saying, it's what works for me. It's my truth. It's the way I'm going to role model the behavior for all of us to become. Excuse me. Hi, my name's Kenneth Clark. I'm with The False Narrative. Roger Dodger sent me. Are you the real Doug? Do you mind if I give you an interview? Okay. We heard about your upcoming adventure. All right, guys, I invited old Mr. Kenneth Clark here in for an interview, so I'm gonna let you go for this week. Hey guys, a couple things to remember. Remember, 1, truth and love equals peace. And also remember, there's a hero inside of all of y'all. So keep watching. We're gonna discover that together. Next week, we're gonna be talking more about nutrition and fitness as we are inside of 1 week until departure, 1,400 miles across the country. Stay tuned for my interview with Kenneth Clark next week. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys. Now I hope you all enjoyed the last episode here of Let's Become Heroes. Right now I want to take a second and illustrate the 3 critical ingredients this documentary intends to reveal. Now I believe if each of us prioritize our fitness, our nutrition, as well as work on our mental health awareness, we can each become the heroes we were destined to be. Now, I don't know if you know this, guys. The suicide rates are at an all-time high. So I'd like to take a second and share the suicide hotline with all of you. And I'll disclose that now. If you or someone you know are struggling with mental health, please reach out to someone, tell somebody, help somebody, what other side you're on. Oftentimes, these situations are silenced because we are simply unaware. I sincerely believe by focusing on the big 3, fitness, nutrition, and mental health awareness, we can drastically improve and fight against the suffering in the world. So please, please stop judging people. Leave that up to God and God alone. I promise you, we often walk by the highlights of our day because we are so blinded by our routines. Perhaps a homeless person may be the sweetest soul you ever speak to, or a drug addict, the most intelligent person you ever communicated with. So instead of hate, let's try and lift each other up with a little truth and a little love. Thank you. Thanks for watching.